All right, guys. So we're doing another podcast with Alex. This one's really random. Honestly, I was going to re-record and put my podcast I did with Austin and Grant because just hands down probably the funniest podcast humor wise because they're just a funny character and yeah, but before we get into this, I want to clarify that if I do talk about someone, I'm not going to give names, all right? So if you ever are scared to hop on my show and talk about something illegal, if people recognize your voice, it's probably going to be a I don't know. That's all on you, chief. But I am an open-based channel. I will really talk about anything. This is a pretty dope show to talk on and just really ramble. But yeah, uh, I think today's podcast is going to be about fake people. Yeah, I like that. And how people can be fake and you don't know they're being fake. And it's just really crappy because I don't know why people got to be fake. Like, why be fake when you could show someone your real personality? Like, to be honest, man, I just think it's a lot of BS that it's really in high school too. Like you see a lot of fake people in high school or like people that you used to know and you're like, yeah, they're cool and all, but you go hang out with them and it's like, well, let me take that back. Everyone I hang out with is probably the realest people. Um, I do dig it because having real friends is like having real food. Okay, I take that back. That doesn't even make sense remotely. Um, But fake people, what can we talk about them? Well, they come in all looks. Uh, Normally they're really nice. Like no, I take that back. It can be rude people. It can be nice people that just pretend to be nice because for some reason they just have a fucking corn cob up their ass and they just feel like doing that. But yeah, um, how I really see it in high school a lot is for some weird reason it's like in the older grades. Or I don't know if it's just them growing up and being responsible, but I've never really seen a responsible fake adult at a young age. Uh, Most people well, I already talked about that. Uh, well, no, we're going to talk about that. Like a lot of my friends are real, and shout out to you guys if you're listening. All right. Um, I think it's good to stay away from fake people because that just brings toxic vibes and that's not fun to be with. Like, do you really want to hang out with someone who's always complaining and will be like, I really like that? Well, okay, let me phrase that. They'll be like, you know what? I don't like so and so, but so and so comes up to that person and they're just full on conversation. If you don't like someone, why do you talk to that person? Like, I don't understand. Uh, it's really confusing. I'll have people just talk a lot of crap about people to me, and then I'll just watch the same person go talk to the person they were talking shit about. Now, what's that? Tell me about that now. Like, that's really confusing. They have the audacity to just lie about everything to you, and then talk shit about that person, and then just go talk to the person they were talking shit about previously. That's pretty BS to say, you know? Like, if I don't like you, there's a good chance I'm probably not going to talk to you. If you come up and talk to me, I'm not going to turn the opposite direction. I'm probably going to come up with something utterly stupid and then leave. Or like the people okay, it sucks because in some situations you can talk like about being fake and I don't know what makes a fake person. What I think is a fake person is when they like talk shit or they'll you'll know someone in like sixth grade and like proceed to go on high school and know this certain person and then you see him the next day in library and they're like so fake to you and you're like holy shit I can't believe I used to fuck with you. It's just you look back on the people you talk to and then you see them nowadays and you're like, you know what? I'm kind of happy I lost you as a friend or like lost you. Well, oh, I don't know. See, I make friends with some certain people and it might last for a little while before I see that they're toxic for me and I'm like, you know what? I want someone that can hang with and talk about the same thing. Like 99, okay, so like I have some friends that don't smoke, right? And you're like, how does a stoner talk to non-stoners? It's actually pretty easy. Like, you don't base your friendship off like one thing. I base friendships off my hobbies and what I like to do. So I can have one dude skate and be like, you know what, that's cool. I'll talk to you a little bit more. And if you just share my hobbies, I'll talk to you. Like, you're considered a friend if you share my hobbies, especially the herb. You know, that's a whole nother podcast. I'm going to say, actually, I got a really cool idea. Side note, I don't know who I want to do it with. I don't know if I want to do it with Austin or um, someone new, but it's really hard because I'm like, yo, who wants to do a podcast? And like maybe three people reply, and you're like, you know what? That's 3 episodes. And if you don't watch this, that's cool. You click on it, that's cool because that's just one more view for me. So, but yeah, anyways, I am totally spewing off, but I want to do a story, and it's going to be really cool. I want to do it with some guests. And I'm secretly learning how to add more people to a group call on Discord. So if you and a buddy want to comment or just hit me up and be like, yo, I'm totally down. Uh, just a little hint, my next one's probably going to be about marijuana. So if you don't like that, well, then hop off. If you do, stay in tune. Um, but yeah, I want to do like the first time, and that's all I'm going to say. That's all the little hints I'm going to say about that. That basically gives it away, but I really don't care. Uh, I thought about it today, and I'm like, that would be really cool. And I have a bunch of just stuff that I want to do, but it takes people, so I'm going to need your guys' help. Like, what was it? Views. I mean, numbers really aren't my thing. One person that's seen it is the same as the 107th person. Like, I really don't care. I'm not doing this for cash. I'm really, it's like half and half with views. Like, I want people to see it and know, because let's be honest here. I live in Vincent. All right, no one's doing podcasting in Vincent. So if anyone's out there watching, I'm the first one to start doing this. All right. Um, if I'm not, I'm sorry. If you're out there and you do podcast in Vincent, please let me know. Like, no one does it, so it's really hard to like collab with someone that doesn't do a podcast. Like, it's easy to do a musician or like people who are into things or run businesses. Like when I did one with Sam the Man, all right, shout out to you, homie, all right, because talk about the hookup. He's doing pretty great out there. He's living in LA doing clubs. Like, what the life, man? Like, that's a life. That's something I would love to do, clubbing. And I never thought about that. Like, nightclubs, that would be lit. Just a giant club where everyone can go rage at. Like, I would dig that. I would totally be on board actually with that. Anyways, let's go to my channel. Let's see what we're running at here. 12. My highest one I have going right now is the late night podcast with Alex and LC Fresh. All right, shout out to LC if you're listening, dude. Uh, New music that came out. Let's see. Finesse God dropped his tape, I think. I don't know when he did that, but it was good. Definitely a banger tape. I suggest checking it out. Um, I know I started and we're going to talk about fake people, but I don't think I can go on with that because I've kind of run out of all fake experiences. Like, the one in the library was my only experience, and I see it, but I don't really know how to explain it, so we're just going to talk about something else. But yeah, and we're going to hop on to the music side because let's be honest here. If music's basically life at this point, like if you're in school and you don't want to talk to people, the best thing you have is earphones and music. That's probably what gets me through most of my day and bathroom breaks. I'm not going to go in detail, but anyways, that and head music really gets me through my day. And on the topic of music, I'm super excited. LC is going to be dropping some with Austin. Is not give me a tease or a preview. I don't know if they have recorded it yet or what's going down. I am super excited for that. Um, what I want to do is if that does come out, I want to sit both of them down and like see if LC wants to come through Austin's house and maybe we do a podcast. I think that would be dope, to be honest. And I think someone is here. But yeah, and um, yeah, no, I'm off topic. Music, yes. Um, I think it would be cool to do a music podcast, but I already like that's basically based off of all mine. But definitely a first time story is in the near future in the works. I'm super excited for that. Uh, oh man, I can't even talk about that because I just give everything away. But it's definitely a good time. You ought to give it a listen when it comes out and when it's done. But music, yeah, Finesse God's coming out. He already dropped his tape, and I kind of just I sat down and listened to all of it today during class, and I was actually blown away on the production and how it kind of all came together, and just the music itself. A very, very talented person, I think, and when it and then, like I think it's cool because a lot of people from Vincent's are like finally like not. Well, let me take that back. They're going somewhere. Like I give props to some of like the local artists um, because they're doing very well, and you know I haven't really got a few. I've only got like two, well, three actually, if you count Sprinkle and his leaving Knox band. Um, I don't know if I can talk about that quite yet because I haven't talked to him. But there is new music coming with Austin. I'm very excited. He is he's working heavily on some things. All right, getting some things in the making. Shout out to him, real OG right there, great cousin. Um, but yeah, we're 11. No, we're 12 minutes in and we're talking about random BS. That's great. I love it. But yeah, school. We're off the music. Now we're going to go to school. And if the great thing is you don't have to have the fanciest phone to listen to music in school. All you really need is a headphones and a decent, well, it doesn't have to be a decent pair. For me, I like good sound quality. So I'm going to try to pick the best headphones I get. But not awesome, but not give an arm and a leg, because like that's not cool. Uh, Junior year, one more year to go. Shout out to all the junior classmates out there listening. Um, I'm excited, not gonna lie. I have a few other things I want to do after school. Um, Kind of just like cook, and I think my biggest one I really want to do is like my goal is to go to VU for 2 years for culinary, and then get my culinary degree, and then I think if marijuana is not legal at the time, then I'll either have to travel. But if it does become legal down here in Indiana, I think it would be lit, because then I own so in Amsterdam they have coffee shops, and it's not really a coffee shop, it's more like a dispensary, but you go and you can sit. It's like a smoking lounge, and it's pretty dope. Not gonna lie. Uh, I haven't personally been to one, but I think it would be cool to go to one, for sure. But what I want to do is I want to invest in um, uh, uh, GD. I hate when this happens. Come on, brain. Think. What was it? Oh yeah, I want to invest in a marijuana restaurant. Like you go down and you order food, but and secretly, well, not secretly, but in that food is cannabis, and it will efficiently, and that would be cool. Like if you're like one of those persons who like edibles and like You don't want to go to a place that just constantly smells a reefer, and you just want to have a good time with your friends and eat. I think that would be dope, honestly. And you can sit with your friends, eat some bomb ass food, and also feel the effects of the marijuana. All right, uh, I think that would be dope. Honestly, I don't know if they have them out there in the legal states, but in Indiana, I'm gonna be the first one to open it. All right, that is for sure. If it's not in Indiana, I'm gonna go somewhere else and do it because, well, this town, to be honest, is really, I don't know how to describe Indiana. It's really dry and corn. Like the majority of Indiana is farming and all farmland. From here, um, I think it's mainly watermelon and corn for Vincent's, like in the fields. And don't get me wrong, it's pretty good, but I feel like it could do better. Um, but that just depends from which farmer you get your stuff from. But yeah, that's my goal is to just open a restaurant, but spike your food with marijuana. Yeah, that'd be lit, and it would be a fun time, just going with your buddies, sitting down. But yeah, so that's my goal in life currently. I think it'd be super dope. I'm already going back on the same shit, anyways. Um, yeah, but junior year, only one more year and I'm done. Man, it feels weird to say. And it's super weird seeing all these like freshmen come in. That's another topic I'm get into. But anyways, just being like a junior, you just have like a feeling of pride, like I only got one more year left and I'm done. Like that's super dope feeling to have that I'm gonna be done with like school as a teenager, and that's awesome. Cause to be honest, do you really like waking up at 6 in the morning just to go to a place that you're not able to skip? Okay, I take that back. You only got 7 days out of a semester. All right, and if you're one of those dudes who just like to stay home and don't do anything, that really blows. To be honest, but yeah, and that's in the near future, and I feel like it will go by super fast because my other school years do. Like I hit freshman, I remember freshman year, I walked in, and I was shout out to Jacob if you're listening, because it was like a day before school, and then my buddy Jacob was in. No, yeah, no, he still lived in town at the moment. He didn't move, and he was so confused because he missed orientation. So, being the real friend I was, me and my madre picked him up and we took him around the school. And we forgot all the classrooms on the first day, which really sucked. Uh, I will vividly remember going to in classrooms and being like, "This is my class," sitting down, looking around, and seeing like a bunch of older kids that I didn't know, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm in the wrong class." But yeah, um, another topic I want to touch up on, uh, especially for the upcoming freshmen that think they are gangbangers. All right, you're not. All right, you're just a kid who goes to school and lives. You're not even black, dude. You're like white. And that's what really makes me angry because you have people that's like, yeah, me and my crew, but dude, you're not even like your balls haven't dropped yet, so like chill out, chief. And it like drives me crazy, like absolutely crazy, because you're just a white basic kid who acts hella black, and I'm like why do you do that? Like I don't understand. I think it's stupid, and especially when they're talking about like, yeah, we got guns, and I'm like, your airsoft guns or your water guns, BB guns, what are you talking about here? Because I know your ass don't have anything with bullets in it. All right, so just calm down. And it's, I feel like as a freshman you should be focused on something else besides being black. Like if you're white as hell, why try to do that? Like that's not cool. Everyone doesn't like that dude. All right, everyone doesn't like the people that do that, and it's kind of sad because that's starting to become a trend now. Like tell me you don't have a kid in your school if you're listening to this and you don't go to Lincoln. or even the kids that are listening to this and that do go to Lincoln, tell me out of an average day you don't see a white kid drop the N word. All right, just it's just not like cool. Like your it's just the whole frustrating, and it drives me crazy. Even I don't care if you're like really tan. All right, it doesn't count. Still doesn't count, Chief. You can't do that, and that's what really gets on my nerves. And like the upcoming freshman is just, oh man, I just don't know how I feel about it. And thank God I only have a year and I'm done. I don't have to deal with them, and screw them. But yeah, like you just sit down in class and you hear them come by and you know they're white as hell and they talk as like they're as black, and I'm like, bro, you need to chill out. Like, it's not cool. It's but it's sad because it is becoming a big trend, and like it's starting to happen very in like the young generation, and I'm like, do I really want my sister like growing up like listening to that? Like that's like another thing. Like I have an she's in 5th grade and she is a 10 year old sister that is like slowly growing up, and it's so weird because I'll never forget like when we're rolling up into um what was it? It was a long time ago. Oop, rip my stomach. Sorry if you heard that. But it was like the first day of middle school. Well, it wasn't the first day of middle school. It was like sometime in middle school. My mom started college, and she was like, "When I get done, you'll be in high school, and Maddie will be in no, not in 5th grade. She was in 3rd grade. Yes, and congrats to my mom, like a real OG right there. Like she broke her neck, still went on graduation with the neck brace on. All right, that's that's pretty cool. Well, I don't know. That's I don't, well, she did it. All right, let's just say that she did it, and I'm super proud of me, mom, and the fact that because college is, I guess, pretty hard. Uh, it's not. It's cool and hard at the same time because you don't like people aren't dicks. Like all the high school drama, it's not there in college. Like you're there to go to get your education and your degree, and they don't waste time, you know, like, oh my god, he said that or she said that. It's totally not cool. Like it really gets annoying, and I'm so over it at this point, and it's crazy because it's like already the 4th day and I'm hearing it already, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I'm so over it. Like I don't care. Like I'm there to go, and I'm in school 8 hours of a day. I don't want to hear about your drama bullshit, to be honest. I'm here to learn, and well, I'm here to learn. That's where I'm at, and it's a good time. I'm sorry if you hear the door keep opening. I don't know what people are doing at the moment, but they're going in and out. But yeah, and like that's just the whole drama in school is so stupid. Like that's something just I can't handle, and it's always like if you have a class like choir, for example. If you're listening to this and you're in my choir class, no offense, but there's just a lot of fucking drama that goes down in there, or just a lot of he said she said type stuff, and it's really weird because like our choir, we're not all together. Like we have like okay, well let me rephrase it. Like last year in choir, like the room would be split up with different people. Like it wasn't like we all have our own things like going on, and I understand like if you're not friends with some people, like I don't know, like it's a great class. I do enjoy it, but how it was teached and how everything was going on in it was so stupid. Like I can't stress that enough. That last year's choir, like I didn't even show up because we had the dance, right, and we did like 5 songs, and like 4 out of 5 songs we had the dance. All right, now you tell me how we're supposed to learn all these dances, and let's keep in mind our teacher was like, all right, you have a month to learn this, and she either gave us the choice to wait so many days, and then like I don't know, I'm trying to remember how many days it was before the concert we decided to learn the dance, And she gave us that option, which if I was a choir teacher and I wanted my class to be good at dancing and singing, I wouldn't wait. And even though you just got done with the concert, like, yeah, because I think we had altogether like 4 concerts. I came to out of the 2. And like one of the concerts I was in a hospital for, but we're not going to talk about that. And anyways, like there's a lot of dancing, and half the time we would start dancing and the class would be talking, or you'd have a group of guys in the back just giggling or doing some type of other shit besides dancing. And then if you had a partner, they would put you up with people who are like, you just can't dance with, you know? And I'm not saying that to be rude, but I was, well, let me take that back. My partner was pretty cool. I think the most of it was me because I was still getting over like being shy and dancing in front of people because I'm pretty white. Let's face it. All right, I can't dance worth a shit. And uh, the statement white people can't dance, well, I take that back. I see a lot of white people that can dance. I just can't. I feel like the only white person that can't. And yeah, and the way they were just running the classes, and I'm like, that's so not cool. Like, you're gonna give us this time to learn everything, and then be like, I take that back. We're not. Like, either you know it or you don't. Like, chill out, chief. But yeah, that's my choir for you. And like, don't get me wrong, I think it's cool that we have our dances, but advanced choir, you would think the advanced would sing advanced songs, not do advanced dances. Like, it's not choir and dance class. Like, it's just choir. Like, the whole purpose of choir is to sing. Like, you go to church, you hear the choir, they sing, all right? And I think it's just stupid how we have to dance, to be honest. Like, I think that's my opinion on it. And like, if we put on a show, like, that's cool. Like, that's another part of the show. But if you have a really good group of singers that can hit every note or just hit, like, do a decent job, I don't think dancing should be a part of it. I honestly think that we should be able to go in there. We should be able to sing. Like, they're having us do 3 songs for the concert, which is awesome. I dig that. Last year it was like 5. No, it was like 5 songs, I remember, and we had to learn all these 5 songs and the dances, and it's so time consuming. And if you're not a time consuming person, choir is not for you. And if you're not a stage person or like being up on the stage or dancing in front of people, I probably wouldn't take that class. To be honest, uh, I like how it's going in now. I have a pretty good feeling about it. Uh, we're only doing 3 songs for a concert. That's what's up. All right, and yeah, this is a pretty basic talking. And I don't know. I just think it's stupid how we had to do like so many songs. And if I remember correctly, we did one song. We did the dance. We learned the dance. We learned the song. It was probably like the hardest song we had to do. And we like, oh, the whole, whew, excuse me. And like the whole song was like just so complex. And she was like, no. And like, it was like a last minute thing where we didn't do it, but the whole class was ready to do it. And I'm like, you know what? That's cool. Like, I felt wasting my time on that one. And I'm not going to talk about the concerts because, to be honest, I didn't go to half of them because, like I said, I didn't feel confident. I couldn't dance well. And so I was like, nope. And sorry to my partner out there if you're listening. Chances are you're probably not. If you are, kudos. If you're not, don't really give a fuck. But I need to learn how to start beeping out things. Actually, no, this is a raw video, and we're about to hit 30 minutes. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this podcast, and then I'm going to go through tonight, and I'm going to record the one with. I'm not going to record. I'm going to go back and, because for some weird reason, my the Anchor app that I use, it will download the file, but it will put it into your music file, so it will save it as like I won't be able to release it on YouTube, and so, like, yeah, It's a whole flaw, and it's not the greatest. But I found a way to get by it. It's a little time consuming, but I have to. Um, I can let's just say do the old podcast. I won't save all the details, but yeah. And I'm pretty excited about this channel. We're doing pretty well. Well, kind of. I don't know. It's really not for views. This is just for me to sit down and talk because I have a lot of energy in my day and I don't think I get it out, to be honest. And this is just your fun time, you know. You sit down and you talk about random stuff, and everyone stresses like, okay, so don't get me wrong, making a podcast is pretty difficult, and everyone I okay, so the only one that I didn't restart on, well, all of them. Well, let me take that back. The one I only restarted on was probably my first one, but that's like your first podcast. Like you're going if you really want to take it seriously, you're going to like try, you know, and dedication to where it's at. If you don't dedicate yourself to something that you really want to do, chances are you're really either A, not going to get better at it, or just lose interest in it. And that's kind of like the two things that happen. And yeah. Yo, making a podcast, what are you doing? But yeah, and so glad I'm with editing tools. I can edit that part out. That's what's up. But yeah, and I just think I lost track. Oh yeah, no. Being committed to something, like it doesn't have to be music. It doesn't have. It's kind of whatever you're interested in. To be honest, I forgot the freaking word. Um, oh, what's it called? No, I don't want to set my watts. There we go. Bump it up to 6.5. Anyways, dedication. I think that's what it comes down to. It and just a lot of patience. Like this stuff doesn't just blast off one night unless you just randomly get lucky. You know, like it's not every day. You like someone gets famous off one video unless you're in a local and popular spot and you just have great connections to people who are pretty popular and famous, all right? And I think it's dope, to be honest, that I can hop on here and just talk. But to do that, it's not the easiest thing. Like you're probably asking to yourself, Alex, you hop on here and you just talk about random bullshit. And you're right. This is what this podcast is. It's kind of talking about this in the school year. And dedication, right? Dedication is so hard to do, especially when on the days that, like yesterday, I wanted to make one, but I was just like, no. And I'm kind of angry at myself because I didn't sit down and make one. And I think today I kind of like just felt very motivated, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to record this, and then I'm going to go do a second one, but it's already done. I just got to sit down and let it play and record. So as long as I produce something and drop something, um, we're looking at 33 minutes, which is not that bad. It's weird because I have learned how to talk for the. Oh, okay. I have learned how to talk for this long to myself because that's basically what I'm doing at the moment, and it's kind of weird, but yeah, it's whatever, man. Um, Starting off is like probably the hardest because you're thinking on topics to do, and if you're me, you think about the topics before and you're like, I want to talk about this, but then you're like, well, that only will get maybe 5 minutes, and to be honest, I don't want to talk about something for 5 minutes and then cut it quit. You need something to record about. And so I think that's the hardest challenge I face when it comes to doing this is sitting down and coming up with something to talk about. And it's interesting, let's just say that. But that is, yeah, it's not easy. Let's just put it that way. And then you got to go through and you got to re-listen to it and make sure you didn't cut or do anything wrong. And if it's not right, you scrap it and do it again. But I'm really not gonna go through the troubles of recording a 30-minute thing to do it all over again. Cause fuck that. To be honest, like I'm not about that. Nah, I just do it once. If it's not okay, like I don't. I don't ever not post a podcast because I don't feel like it's okay. It's all raw, and if I do edit something, it's to make it a little better, or I'm throwing something in there, or I'm just in the bathroom, and I have it going because you can't just not pause. OBS don't have a pause button, which really blows. That would be awesome. So it's kind of like, yeah. So if I want, I can go to the bathroom and get through, and I can cut it. And that's really the only editing I really do is just cutting out things. And to be honest, a monkey could do that if it's really not that hard. But as far as sitting down and thinking about something to talk about is probably the hardest thing to do. I noticed because you just get lost and you start stuttering and you're like, all right. So this podcast went from fake friends to music to white kids that act like they're black, which is pretty great. And now we're just, I don't know what I want to wrap it up with. I know I want to talk about another topic, but I'm sitting here in my chair thinking what I really want to talk about, and nothing's really coming on the mind. I do have a lot of great things I want to do, but it's going to involve people. So if you are totally down to make a podcast, please let me know. Like, immediately. I don't even care if you see me in school and you're like, you know what, Alex, I want to make a podcast. Or you can just look and point at me. I might give you a really confused look, but I take that back. I probably won't understand. Don't point at me in the hall. You can if you want, but I'm probably just going to give you a weird look and then ask, is everything okay? So just kind of come up to me and be like, yo, man. I'm pretty easy to talk to be honest. Like, I don't ever find myself being like, I don't want to talk to you unless I just don't like that person. And it's a whole new challenge. And yeah. So let's see. We're 35, almost 40 minutes in, and that's what's up. I'm probably going to start doing, I'm going to probably, okay, if I can use my words right, I am probably going to start using YouTube for the platform to put these on, and Spotify, if I can find a way to share them to Spotify. And yeah, because having multiple like platforms to listen to is pretty cool, because some people might not listen to YouTube because if you don't have YouTube Red, you can't turn off your device and listen to it. How stupid's that? But SoundCloud and Spotify can. You tell me that. That's pretty BS. Uh, I don't know if I want to start using Spotify. I mean, SoundCloud, I don't really have a following on it quite yet. And I really don't. I only have like 5. Now, actually, I have 7 subs. All right, 3 away from 10. And to be honest, like I really couldn't care about the views or the subs or the people. Well, okay, let me take that back. I do care about the people who are watching this, because thank you for taking your time out of the day just to sit down and talk about. They listen to me talk about some random bullshit, and some of it's random, some of it's what I've seen at school, and I think I'll probably either start, if I don't have anything to do, I either start basing my podcast off school, because don't get me wrong, that whole choir was about a 20-minute talk, which, to be honest, saved time. And if you have a topic to talk about, it's pretty great, as long as you can keep it going. Now, if it's a 5-minute conversation, have fun, because you ain't going to get a whole lot with that. But yeah, uh, definitely going to start using YouTube as a platform, because I like it and it suits any file to work in, and it's just a whole dope experience, and I do dig it. My chair is so squeaky right now. I need some Pam. Oh, that's a funny story I can talk about. I just remembered that. So like, I don't know. We used to live in town, and I guess one night I wasn't up, but Austin told me no. I can't remember. Well, okay, so every time, like, Austin, uh, little backstory, used to live with me for a little while. It was a great time, alright? It was like having another brother living in the house, alright? So, you just got used to everything, and if they have a girlfriend, you just learned that you don't go down there because what are the odds of going down? Then fucking, I'm not going to talk about that. We're just going to leave it at that. Anyways, we're going to talk about the Pam and all the great, useful things Pam can do. All right. The fact that if I am hungry in the middle of the night and I don't want to hear squeaky cabinets, you just slap on some Pam and you can snack all night in peace and quiet. And it works with like refrigerator handles. Open a fridge, you get that weird squeaky sound. You don't like that? Trying to be stealthy to go get a snack because your parents in the next room and you don't want them to hear the fridge. All right, Pam, my dude, it helps. And anyways, Austin was, I don't know, I could totally see what he did is he went up there, and it was probably when we weren't home, and he took Pam and he sprayed it on our hinges because he'd come up there at night and he would snack, and you could just hear the squeaky thing, and he didn't want to do it to wake us up, and it was pretty funny. I'm like, and that's when I learned that Pam can be solved with anything, to that or putting a shoe on a Barbie. Another great thing. Pam is like our useful tool. Um, I've put it on my sled before going down a hill, like in the wintertime, and like holy crap, especially if you have like those circle sleds, you just spray it down with Pam, lather it on there really good, and then you just go flying. All right, Pam is a great thing. We love Pam, and Pam loves you. Oh man, my back's getting hurt. This is 44 minutes. All right. Actually, I take that back, 41. But yeah, keep eye out. I'm going to have time. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it because I work doubles on the weekend. So doing a podcast is probably going to be like after work because, oh, that's a thing I can talk about. Let me add that to my list real fast. I'll do it afterwards. But yeah, anyways, this has been a great session talking about some random ordeals and school events. All right. I'm going to come out with some new content here. I have a few things in the works. Well, let me rephrase it. I have a few things in mind that I really want to get to make these podcasts really cool. A mic. Well, what I'm using right now is cool, but if I want something to use for like on the go, because I just downgraded phones and I am using my old LG phone and that cannot record podcasts. It can barely hold apps, all right? And so I'm going to either have to find a new way to do it or use others people's phones or just buy a mic and use I don't know. I want to say no. I would either have to get a whole new like small Chromebook, I think, and or like a small PC I could use like to bring with like a Chromebook would be great because I could go ahead and do my podcast on there and then I could throw it on YouTube and I could just plug a mic in to connect. Yeah, that would probably be where it's at. What I might do in the future, but that is not cheap. And yeah. So either I'm going to get the mic first, so I can have that out of the way, or I'll buy a used one, and then I'll probably get a small Chrome. But yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. But it's been fun chatting, and this outro is really weird because I haven't yet ended it. But I hope you guys like this podcast of the day, and share it, like it, okay, that did not sound good or kid friendly. Comment on it. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you didn't like. Tell me what I could do better. Tell me what I am doing good. Feedback is where it's at. You guys take it easy on this fine Tuesday afternoon. Deuces.